Have you ever felt stuck looking for fresh content ideas? Don't worry, you're not alone. And in this video, I'm going to show you some foolproof method to get fresh content ideas that will keep your audience engaged and coming back. So let's get right in. First things first, you need to understand that your audience is key, and your audience have a lot of interest, they have pain points, they have things that they need to be solved. And if your content are audience centric, it's easier then to be able to create content that would be engaging and keep people coming back. You could also run polls, you could also ask questions as to what stages they are at their journey on their life, and in so doing you're able to create content to answer those questions and fill in those gaps. So understand that first, your audience is very key in your content creation journey. The next step is to research, and you can research using a couple of tools. I'm going to mention a few. So you could use Somo, you could use Ask the Audience, you could use Google Trends, you could use BuzzFeed, and these are some of the tools you could use to research as to what is being talked about, what your audience are asking questions about. When you research, you get a gold mine of information, and then you structure those information into things that would now eventually become content in the long run. So research is also very important. The next point I would say is, do you have old content? You could also repurpose some of your content. So imagine you had your blog for like maybe 5 years or 4 years. You could go back to the first blog post you had and also get those content and repurpose them into another fresh content. So you could use them to create white papers, you could use them to create videos, how to do's, and in so repurposing this content, you're able to create fresh content that people had not seen earlier. And also go back to the content which you have created, and maybe something new had happened along the way, add a bit of more information to that, and that in itself, it's also new content. Think about some of the challenges that your audience face. Can you solve any of them? Can you answer any of them? Can you help anyone in this journey? If you know of those issues, you know of those problems, you could jump on board and create content to answer those questions and help them in their journeys. Another platform would be that social media is a gold mine for information. So check your Instagram, check Reddit, check X, check other social media platform, LinkedIn. Check them out and see what people are talking about. Follow people also that are niche specific. So you could also check your competitors, check people that are doing things similar to you. Watch their content, not to just copy it, but also to get ideas as to what needs to be done. Sometimes you might find a loophole, or you might find something in someone else's content that you can actually answer, maybe a question or a gap, and in so doing, you're able to create fresh content. The next one would be to use AI for content generation. I did a video on Reeve.ai, so you could do well to also check that. What it does is that in the last one I mentioned about having to repurpose all content, Reeve.ai now, you could use Reeve.ai to actually get those old content, put it in, and structure it to get new fresh YouTube content, YouTube script or TikTok script or any social media script, and then you use that to then shoot your video or do something else. You could also brainstorm ideas. Another thing to do would be to check and ask Google, learn prompting and prompt Jasper, prompt all those AI systems, and ask them, okay, this is what I am doing and I am in short of ideas. Can you provide some ideas in this field for me? And it can be a gold mine for you to get as much ideas that you could also save and then look up after and create your content around it. Now, those are some of my own tools and strategies I've used in creating content or using creating fresh creative content. I work as a digital marketer for a biotech company. My work has been around looking for things that are new and novel because it's a very niche based field, and so I also have to put on my cap sometimes. And even to create this YouTube page, I have to put on some creative cap and go online and do some research and bring up new content. And I think this would help anyone on their journey. If you're looking for fresh content, if you can use some of the tools and strategy I suggested, I think you would do very well in your content creation. If you like this video and you found it insightful, do well to like, to subscribe, and to share to others. It helps me a lot and it helps the channels to grow. And also leave your comments and also your questions in the comment below. I'll do well to get to them. Thank you so much, and see you in the next one.